Okay, hello everybody. How are you today? I hope you have a good mood. And first of all, I think we can start. Yes, because it's time, and don't want we just waste our time. And first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Sидлецкая Irina, and I'm a teacher of English in the school Bilim Innovation School in Kostanay for gifted children. And today I've prepared for you a very interesting lesson, I hope. But the main aim for me that it will be useful for you and you can use it during your simple lessons. And today I would like to present you a platform which is called Getclass. So what is good about this platform? First of all, that is absolutely free. So any tutor, any teacher can use it and find a ready-to-use lessons for your children, for your students, for your maybe additional work as a tuition and something like that. And there you can see that it has a very friendly interface. And after easy steps of registration, you just print Getclass, and you can find here. At the end, I will show you how you can do it. As you can see here, you have a plenty of lessons, and there are different levels. It can be pre-intermediate, intermediate, upper intermediate, advanced, it doesn't matter. You have a lot of them. And the good news that it is ready to use. So there is no need to prepare something. It can be a kind of digital book for your Zoom lessons. Okay, so now let's see how it works. For example, let's take lesson for intermediate students or pre-intermediate students is here, and the theme is friends. Moreover, you can find a lot of themes here. It can be devoted to ecology, holidays, about job, work, it doesn't matter. You can find a lot of them. And that is really useful because there you can find all the steps of the lesson. Usually we start with warming up. Yes, so let's see how we can find it here. First of all, we need to provoke students to speak a little bit. And for warming up, you can find here some questions. For example, I'm an arrogant person who doesn't trust people at all. All my best friends are really committed and polite people. I'm a couch potato who is fond of yummy food and proud of that. So the theme is friends. But of course, sometimes we have to speak about features of character. There you can find some interesting words. So maybe there is a good idea to check the meaning or maybe just give the definition. Arrogant. Okay, so check it and explain to children. So it's the person who thinks that he is the best one. Also, you can find an interesting word like committed, a committed person. It's kind of person who is really has a great sense of fulfillment. Maybe it's also a person who is an educational one. And a couch potato. A couch potato, it's a person who usually prefers staying at home than to go to somewhere. Okay, so for warming up in this platform, in this lesson, you can find some questions. Okay, let's take another step. Another step is vocabulary. And how I have already mentioned, you don't need any preparation. You just can use it, guys. A good idea, yes? For vocabulary, you can find a very useful flashcards. First of all, they give you a hint. The word arrogant. Also, you can choose the pronunciation.
Arrogant.
It also works here. If your students don't know, just flip it upside down. And you can see the bright card here with translation. And moreover, there you have some explanation and definitions. For example, the definition here is having an exaggerated sense of his own importance. Or also, you can find some synonyms and also check them.
Haughty.
Haughty. Let's take one more card in order you can see how useful is it. The next word is band member. Also, ask your students Well, there is band, there is member, maybe they know these words, and provoke them to speak. Well, of course, if they don't know, no problem. You just can give them an answer. And as I have already mentioned, there you can find a definition. A person belonging to a particular group. Usually for each lesson, you have 15 new words. It's a very good way for checking vocabulary and for presenting a new one. Let's take another point. In the point here, you can see get to know. Get to know you can find, usually there is devoted to grammar pattern. For example, here there is about to be. Let's just revise a little bit. I know that you remember, but how you can explain? It's very briefly, but very useful card. Present simple, there is am is are. Past simple, there is was were. And future, there is will be. Okay? Of course, we have negative forms also here and some indicators. You can use this card or maybe show your additional one, but if you don't have time, just use it. Usually, that is really useful. Okay? And now, the first part of our lesson was devoted to vocabulary. And this part, after explanation, to grammar. Now let's practice and vocabulary and grammar. As you can see here, you have ready to use tasks for this vocabulary pattern and the grammar one. For example, you have a sentence. Я больше не буду разговаривать с этим нечестным и хвастливым человеком. As you remember, the word хвастливый we had in the vocabulary, so that you have it here. And let's just make a sentence. Я больше не буду разговаривать с этим человеком. So think. I won't talk to this dishonest and хвастливый, remember, and boastful man anymore. Well, if it is right, there is no sign of a mistake, you can show your students.
I won't talk to this dishonest and boastful man anymore.
So, how I have already mentioned, the Getclass is a very good platform for Zoom lessons. Okay, let's go further. You can have such a kind of tasks. Remember, it was about to be. How long he be will so innocent and creative? You can just print the answer here. How long will he be? So, if it is right, it's okay. If it is not, it also shows that there is a mistake. Yes, that is right. And also, notice, there you can find the translation. So your students just can read it. Okay, let's take one more. Она станет образованным человеком только через 10 лет. For example, your students don't know how to do it. Okay, let's make mistakes. Like that, like that. So it doesn't work. You should choose the right one. Once again, there is a mistake and your students can see it. Well, once again, there is right.
Will she be an educated person only in 10 years?
And once again, you can show the pronunciation for them. Okay. One more. What an arrogant child Tom be. Once again, the word be. If it is Tom, if it is present simple, you can ask your students, okay, what should be used? And for example, they say Tom are. Oh my God. So it doesn't work. Tom is. And let's check. Yes, that is right. Okay, let's take what else can you find here. As you can see, if you have a mistake, that is right. If it is right, that is correct. Also there you can choose, you know how it works. And you can find such kind of tasks also here. A band member when he was young. And choose, were Thomas, was Thomas, Thomas were. Because it is a question, let's use was Thomas. And once again, you students can see the answer and pronunciation.
Was Thomas a band member when he was young?
Okay, so let's go further. The next step that this platform is offered to you, there is kind of discussion. There you can find plenty of questions to provoke your students to speak. Of course, there is devoted to friends, and it can be kind of additional material for speaking. Okay, so let's take another point. You have some additional points here. For example, a life story. Usually in this graph can be a video, or it can be a song, or it can be just a simple text. But you can show the right answers here also. So for example, you choose here important. That isn't right. You click it here and choose once again. So let's choose. So listen, that is the right variant. You can also train it with your children. The next step, role play. Imagine that you're a famous novel writer given an interview. You can play with them, you can discuss with them, but also there is devoted to friends and just provoke them to speak. And some games you can find here. For example, describe a perfect boyfriend, girlfriend, and answer the question below. Let's conclude. As you can see here, you have warming up, vocabulary, get to know, it's about grammar usually. Let's practice, it's about and vocabulary and grammar. Some additional information, it can be a life story with some video or just maybe a text. Some role plays and some games. And now, how can you find it? So you just print. So Getclass. Getclass. And find these lessons. So Getclass, my students, and find the courses. You can choose it here, and there are a lot of them. There is elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, upper intermediate students. Also, you can find here, it can be business English or some preparations for any exams and traveling. Okay, as I can see in the chart, we have some questions, or maybe just. Okay, so hello everybody. Maybe you have any questions, you can print them in the chart. I didn't want to take so much your time, so I just prepared the lesson for 10-15 minutes because I want you to know about this brilliant platform, Getclass, with ready-to-use lessons. Okay, so do you have any questions? You can print it there. Okay, when you find it in your browser, then you just need to register, and there is very easy steps, and then use this ocean of tasks. Okay. So somebody asked about certificate. I don't know about this, sorry, I'm just a teacher who just sharing my experience. Okay, guys, remember, Getclass platform, I hope this digital certificate will be. Okay, thank you for your job. Thank you so much for coming. I hope it will be really useful. And if you have Zoom lessons, Believe me, it really helps you. And if you don't have time for preparation for the lesson, just open Getclass and you can find everything for this. Okay? So that is all for today. Thank you so much for coming. So the lesson is over. Goodbye.